What's going on, guys? It's Landon from the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host today, and I'm talking some holiday start-sit questions. We've got a great game with the Vikings and Saints. This is a revenge game for the Saints. We are ready to rock here. This is going to be a lot of fun. Hope everyone has a great holiday. Merry Christmas to everyone. This is going to be a lot of fun. Hope everyone's having a great holiday. Make sure everyone's safe and happy for the holiday season. I'm wearing my Santa hat. We celebrate Christmas here. We're up in Canada. I'm here to answer all your start-sit questions. If we don't have very many in the chat, I'll just jump over to our YouTube channel because we have a whole bunch here. Thanks for coming out, guys. Can everyone see me? How's my audio? Everything should be all right. Thanks, Derek. Appreciate you. I can move my camera away. I can move it closer. Whatever works. We're just here hanging out, having a good time. I've got a nice cold beer with me here. It's the holiday season. I'm here hanging out, answering all your championship week 16 very, very important questions. We got a few people in the chat. I've got 4 people watching. It just started. I'm here early. It still could be 5 minutes before launch, but I'm here just to stream, hanging out with you. Wesley in the chat asking a great question. Thanks for coming by, Wesley. He's got Lockett or David Johnson. Lockett or David Johnson is a very tough one because Lockett really hasn't been great. He's been hot and cold, mostly cold lately. He's had a couple big games, obviously early in the season, but we haven't seen it. Now we could have Ramsey really cover DK Metcalf. I misspoke in my last wide receiver ranking video saying that DK got the best of Jalen Ramsey. I was wrong. DK only had 2 catches in that game. I'm getting lots of flack on YouTube for that, but I misremembered. It was actually Tre'Davious White that DK got the best of and not Jalen Ramsey. So who knows? I really don't think DK Metcalf is coverable, honestly. But if anyone's going to do it, I suppose it's Jalen Ramsey. So with your question, between Lockett and David Johnson, but between these things, I mean, David Johnson is the safe play. He's a running back, but he's also a wide receiver. They play Cincinnati. It's a good matchup, even though they beat Pittsburgh. It's still a good matchup for David Johnson versus Cincinnati. He's been a lot more of a wide receiver, and they're without. The Kiki QT is questionable. I'm expecting him to play. So for this spot, I've got David Johnson as a top, probably fringe running back 1, and I've got Tyler Lockett as a fringe wide receiver 2. So I would go with David Johnson, Wesley for the kind of safety of a running back spot, and then you still have upside with David Johnson. So that's where I would go with. He's been pretty good for all the games he's played, and the Houston offense really doesn't have very many guys left. I don't have a ton of confidence in Brandon Cooks this week, even though he's the number 1 in that offense. Thank you, Eric. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you and your families. Make sure everyone's safe and warm. It was just a total misremember there, Eric. I got it wrong. Derek is asking about Diggs, Ayuk, Lockett, or DeAndre Swift, or DK, and then DeAndre Swift or Deontay Johnson. That's a tough one, Derek. You've got a really solid team. I think you start Diggs if he's active. I'm expecting him to play. It's not a great matchup, but with that one, he is the stud of all studs. He won Mackenzie a matchup versus me last week. So I would probably stick with Diggs regardless of the matchup, even if he's questionable going in. So besides that, Ayuk, CJ Beathard is going to be fine as a replacement. He's not a great option, but he's going to be fine. So, and I do have DK high. Now, like I just said, the risk involved with Jalen Ramsey. Russell Wilson, that last game, I rewatched it. He didn't even look his way very often. Jalen Ramsey was that shutdown corner, and I believe the Seattle Seahawks lost. So they need to The next game against Buffalo, they forced DK the ball. It didn't matter who was covering him. So I do think they forced him the ball. He's a stud wide receiver. I'm playing DK personally myself, but the risk is higher. So I still play Derek. I still play Diggs and DK. And I do believe that DeAndre Swift is very safe. He's getting 5 or 6 targets per game. Deontay Johnson is the number one of that offense. It just seems that offense is so bad in Pittsburgh. Now, if you want to go with the number one, that's Deontay. Your team is so good, Derek. It's hard to go wrong, but it's hard to really decide to have one of these guys sit. I'm going to sit Lockett out of those options. And yeah, so I go Diggs, Ayuk, and Swift, but I don't blame you if you go with Deontay Johnson instead of Swift, Derek. It's just what I'm thinking here. Eric is asking, start 2 full PPR. He's got DK, Corey Davis, and Manny Sanders. I do like Manny Sanders this game, but it's risky. It's risky. I don't want to playing a guy on this Friday is going to be risky, because if he has a bad game, the perceived upside is gone and you don't have a chance to win. It feels like, right? If you have a bust on Friday. So out of those 2, I would go DK and Corey Davis, Eric. But I am personally relying on Manny Sanders. I've got Manny and DK starting in my championship matchup. Kicks for Mike. What's going on? Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone. Thanks for coming by the live stream. Make sure to like this video. I haven't mentioned yet, I've just been answering all these questions. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're very, very close. As of very recently, we're about 19 subscribers away from getting the mark of 1,000. We could be monetized if we get 1,000 subscribers, and we want to get a little bit more to be safely stay in the monetization for the off season, because we know there's always a chance of losing subscribers in the summertime, even though we'll be putting out content all year round. Make sure to like, subscribe. It helps. Share it to your friends. If you want to play with us, you can refer your friends to the channel, and we will you have a chance to play in our listener league next year. Sorry about that. My door isn't staying open over there. So, kicks for Mike. Merry Christmas. He's got for flex Swift, Kittle, J-Rob, Bell. I bench Keenan Allen for Ayuk. Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet. Benching Keenan Allen. Looking at what he did last week for us, he was a decoy and he wasn't healthy. That hamstring injury is tough. They've missed the playoffs. They're eliminated. So why would they? They just paid him. There's no use in making this hamstring any worse. So Ayuk is the play over Keenan Allen right now. I know our rankings say different in our video, but I think that's the right play for Mike. He's got Swift, Kittle, J-Rob, Bell. So I would play Swift out of those guys. I know Kittle's going to be great. I'd be curious to see kicks for Mike what tight end you have starting. If you have Waller, Kelsey, Mark Andrews, maybe even TJ Hawkinson, that's who I would start ahead of Kittle. Kittle's a risky play, but he's not risky for a tight end, if that makes sense. Tight ends are very touchdown dependent. If Kittle is healthy, which he's supposed to be, he's going to be great. So I would start Kittle over pretty much every other tight end I just mentioned. And yeah, so I would flex Swift, and then my second choice would be Bell. I think James Robinson is kind of a trap play. He wants to play. I don't think he's going to be even active. So I'm kind of benching and fading J-Rob. It's a standard league, so Swift kind of gets a downgrade in standard leagues because he gets 5 or 6 targets. Le'Veon Bell is a decent option as well there because he doesn't rely on targets. He's just going to be the number 1 back for Kansas City, probably get in the end zone. So maybe it's closer between Swift and Bell for that there, my dude. Currently I've got Swift starting over Bell in a half PPR league. Griffin's talking. It's a 2 PPR projected loss by 1. Swift, Jacobs, Gibson, Cook. I would probably go with, It's a PPR league. I still go, I think, Jacobs in that spot. I'm not going to start Gibson, even though he's been great when he was healthy. Coming off an injury, I would fade him a little bit. And just go with your guys there. Sorry, I lost it. Just go with Jacobs, and then Swift is going to be a close second. Is that Dalvin Cook? If that's Dalvin Cook, Griffin, I go with that one. If I'm picking two, I go Dalvin Cook and Jacobs. Tony, PPR, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. He's got Moore. I assume that's DJ Moore, AB, Wilson, Pollard, Dobbins, Geo, Gibson, Henderson. You've got a good lineup. Jeff Wilson, I assume that is. Tony, if you want to clarify, I think that's probably right. You have some really good options in a PPR league. I think Dobbins is a definite option, and I do expect Zeke to play. So I don't think Pollard is a real solid option. So in a PPR league, it's between Moore, AB, and Henderson. I think Henderson has a really good safe floor. He was good when he was the lead back when Akers was hurt. So your 2 running backs are going to be your floor plays. If you want to go pure upside, I would potentially look at DJ Moore or AB. Moore slightly ahead of AB in that scenario. DK, Bell, or Carson at the flex. I would go Carson at the flex. Patty, great question. I talked about DK before. I can talk about him in a little bit. Loinist Bonin, thanks for coming by. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we're very close to our 1,000 subscriber mark. I haven't seen your name before, so thanks for coming by if you came off of Twitter. Is Adam Thielen a safe start against the Saints defense? I think Adam Thielen is a very good start. He's still a good wide receiver for me this week. He's a fringe, just outside the wide receiver 1 this week. It's not a great matchup, but the Vikings have gotten the best of the Saints a lot lately. I know it's going to be a tough matchup, but I think that he's still going to be a good option. He still gets the targets and the red zone looks. Jefferson is obviously the upside play, and I've got Jefferson ahead of Thielen, but I am starting Thielen even in a tough matchup. They're playing in a dome, so you don't have to worry about the weather. So that's something you have to consider this time of year. And because it's in a dome, it gives him a boost over some other fringe wide receivers. So safe play, sure. Like his floor is still that 4 points. We saw that last week, or he got a touchdown last week. So he didn't get the yardage, but he got a touchdown. That's kind of his floor. If he has more yards, his ceiling is at 25-point marks. Adam Thielen has been good all year, and kicks for Mike. Yeah, you've got Waller, so I would start Waller in my flex or my tight end spot over Kittle. Kittle is a pure upside play. He's a stud. Maybe you'll feel silly benching Kittle, but he's back. But it's his first game back, kicks for Mike. So starting him in a first game back is very risky based on your other options. At the tight end spot, it's so much different. I would start Kittle over Hooper and Jared Cook, and the list goes on and on and on of tight ends I would start him over because they all have a floor of pretty much 0. But for other players, it's not the same. So he wants to play. He's been fighting to play, but I believe the Niners are out of the playoffs, so it's possible that he's on a snap count. I don't know what they're going to do. Injuries, like I've said before, are the most difficult thing to project for players because look at what happened to Keenan Allen. Raheem Mostert had an ankle. He looked really good for most of that game, and then he did not look good and got hurt again. So it's very, very difficult. I told people to sit down Mostert last week. He looked great, and then he got benched, and Jeff Wilson got the touchdown. So injuries are very, very tricky, but hopefully we are here to sift through some of these questions. Thank you, everyone, for coming by. Everyone who's come by has liked the video so far. I'm here on Christmas Day. I had a great morning with my family and very generous gifts. Hopefully, everyone, if you're with your families and you're here hanging out, if you're spending time with me because this COVID and you're locked down, that's why I'm here too. So I appreciate everyone coming in, hanging out. Make sure you give your best and give your time to your families, whether it's watching a movie, hanging out, watching football today. But hopefully you and your families are safe and healthy for this holiday season, regardless of whether or not you celebrate Christmas. Eric, update. Any update on DK's knee? Last game looks like he landed awkwardly, I believe, in the second quarter. I believe that was in the first quarter, Eric, if I'm not mistaken, because he hadn't had a catch yet. He did play the rest of the game. He didn't have a massive game. It could have been banged up for his knee, but he is not questionable. He doesn't have an injury designation going into tonight's game or this weekend's game. I'm playing DK because he's really my best option for a big game. He still has the potential to have a massive game against the Rams, even though it's a really tough matchup. You got to go down with the ship. He might lose people matchups. It's that possible because of Jalen Ramsey. He's a risky play. Even though he's a stud wide receiver and one of the best dynasty wide receivers in the league. So I don't blame anyone if you want to sit down DK this week if you have good options with guaranteed targets, but I myself am not doing that. So I'll be hoping for a touchdown at least from DK and some long bombs from Russ. Griffin, same situation. PPR lost by 1. Pickup lost by 1. Pick 3. A-Rob, Parker, A.J. Brown, Jefferson, Diggs. I go Jefferson, A.J. Brown, and Diggs. Griffin. Appreciate the Christmas stream. You're very welcome. Over here sweating my lineup picks. Everyone is. We've hit some of the best subscriptions on our YouTube. Tons of views lately. We've put out rankings episodes these past 2 weeks, and they have hit better than some of them all season. So even though almost all your league is out of the playoffs, the people who are still here, like you, everyone watching, care the most. You're in your finals. Hopefully we helped you get to your finals, and that's great. And I see all the same names here, and I appreciate everyone. Cheers to everyone. Happy holidays. I can have a drink of beer. Great. So, Lucius, yes, you're sweating your matchup. Need to. Thielen, Metcalf, Godwin. Waiver is stacked, so if you have a sleeper on the option, let me know. There's lots of sleepers. Based on your 2 ones there, oh man. I've talked a lot about DK. It sucks that it's a tough matchup because I would love if it was an auto start playing the Jets in a dome or something like that. That would just be phenomenal. I mean, that wouldn't be because of the both outdoor stadiums, but if it was the Vikings in Minnesota, that would be awesome for DK Metcalf, but it's not. So I know my rankings say different, Lucius, but I think I would go Thielen and Godwin. Otherwise it's Thielen and Metcalf. I'm hoping on a big game. There could be weather concerns in that game. I think it's in Seattle, and it looks like there's a little rain cloud in there now. We still have a lot to decide. There's still lots of time to pass before we talk about weather. But I think out of your 3 really good wide receivers, I go Thielen and Godwin, hoping Godwin has a bounce back game. If you want to go with my rankings, and that has to do with ceiling and upside, it's Thielen and Metcalf. So good luck. You're very welcome for the Christmas live stream. Hopefully everyone's safe and happy for the holidays, and give my best to your family. Tony is asking DJ and Jeff. So I don't know what you mean by that. If it's DJ or Jeff, I think I go with DJ. Patty, Bell, or Carson, PPR. I would go Carson over Bell, Patty. I don't mind Bell this week, but it's tricky. Weenie R. Mullen's going to have to check down to Kittle frequently. I think it's Beathard playing, Griffin. I believe it's Beathard. Mullen's got hurt, I believe. Jacob is asking, pick 1, PPR, Robbie Anderson, Juju, or Amari Cooper. I would go with Amari Cooper. It's a good matchup. It's in a dome. I think it's in a good spot, even after he had a bust game this past week. Griffin is asking, got a piece of Stanley Cup game-used puck for this year's Cup. Awesome. That's a wicked gift. I got some very nice gifts as well. You leaning towards Ebron or Cook? I'm going away from Ebron this week. I would go with Jared Cook today. It's a tough one. I've got 2 Saints. I've got Sanders and Cook. Really hoping for a touchdown from both guys today. I will be yelling and screaming if that happens today. Hugo Garcia, thanks for coming by, Hugo. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're only 19 away. We might be able to do it today. If we do that today, I'll chug my beer. I'll chug another beer. I'll shotgun a beer. I'll do anything if we hit 1,000 subscribers today. Hey, maybe even Mac would jump on, even though he's in the midst of celebrating Christmas, to come on and pop some champagne. You never know. If everyone here can help us get to 1,000 subs, we would be forever grateful. Hugo's asking, Jonathan Taylor going against the Steelers or Curtis Samuel? Hugo, that's a great question. On this podcast, on this channel, we love Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is a phenomenal running back. He's caught, I think, 35 of 38 targets this year. I am going with Jonathan Taylor versus Pittsburgh. Even though it's a tough matchup, Pittsburgh as a whole has not looked great. And I do think that he's a very safe play over Curtis Samuel. I love JT. Hugo, I would go with JT. Tony, so QB decision looming. I have Hertz, Allen, Herbert. That's my order. Do you agree or disagree? So Tony, if you guys haven't, if you're watching and you love the streams and all this stuff, you can get more content on our podcast. We do a podcast on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, everything. We do 1 or 2 per week. For this, in the past 2 weeks, we've only gotten 1, and we released it Thursday morning. We went in depth talking about quarterbacks because there's much different. In my rankings, I've got Pat Mahomes, Rodgers, and I think Hertz goes somewhere along like 6 or 7. I do technically have Herbert ahead, if I'm not mistaken, but there's different levels of upside. I'll give you an example versus Aaron Rodgers and Jalen Hurts. Right now, I've got Rodgers at number 2 and Hurts down below. But Rodgers has a ceiling of about 4 touchdowns. We've seen it before. He's a stud. He could put up 35 plus points, scores 4 touchdowns, and passes for over 300 yards. We could see that out of Aaron Rodgers. Doesn't matter if it's outside or not. However, Jalen Hurts, even though he's lower in my rankings, his ceiling is higher. He could rush for 2 touchdowns and pass for 3 touchdowns. He could have a 5-touchdown game because of what he can do on the ground. He could run for 100 yards on the ground, pass for 300 through the air. Jalen Hurts has this ceiling, like you have in your rankings here, that's phenomenal. He's great, right? Like, he's awesome. But because he's a rookie and he's still learning the NFL, and it doesn't matter what defense Dallas has been better lately. They could game script against him and contain him and make him flustered. And then you wonder why you started a rookie in your championship matchup. Could that happen? No. Or could that happen? Yes. Am I projecting it? Not necessarily. So in my rankings, Tony, based on floor and ceiling and what they've shown all year round, I would put Herbert before Hertz and then Allen at the bottom. Even though Allen's been good lately, I think it's a tough matchup versus New England. So that's how I would rank it. But if you want to put Hertz first, hey man, go with it, roll with it. If you need a massive game, if you're playing a tough matchup, Hertz might be the play. So good luck, Tony, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Been a good day and a good birthday. Birthday, Griffin. Happy birthday, Griffin. Yo, Mac is on. Merry Christmas, Mackie. He knows what's up. He's in. Happy holidays. Hopefully everyone's good. Jimmy, Parth, these guys are in the chat. Welcome. I know you're subscribers already. PPR, Corey Davis or AB. Happy holidays. I would go Corey Davis over AB, but AB's been looking great. They've got a great matchup. And if you want to go pure upside, maybe it's AB, but we've seen a great floor from Corey Davis as well. They both have a chance to disappear, so they're very similar players in my mind. Jamie J, need 2 wide receivers and a flex. Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Mike Evans, Marvin Jones. I would go Jefferson, A.J. Brown, and Mike Evans. Jamie J, great question. Matt Glore, what is going on, Matt? If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I will shout you out if I see any new subscribers on our channel. Donald Parnham or Irv Smith? Oh, man. I guess Irv Smith today? That's where I would go? I'm not sure. There's got to be better on the waiver wire, Matt. Send us a DM. Maybe Matt can get back to you, or message below in the chat here who else you have on waivers, because I guess maybe you need a tight end, so I'd go Irv Smith. Jimmy J, it's a PPR league. Cool, doesn't matter. Martin Jones has been good. I get that. But I think you go with your studs. And Jefferson is a part of that crew. AZ Cards, thanks for the advice. I subbed. Have a Merry Christmas. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. Daniel, Montgomery or Calvin Ridley, PPR. Oh, both of those guys are studs. Who else do you have, Daniel, at your running back position? Because Montgomery has been phenomenal. I would go Montgomery, I guess, because he's been great. He's been a stud. He's a running back, gives you a safe floor. Calvin Ridley's been great as well. But I guess it's Montgomery. Geez, that's tough. So, Matt. Oh, it's Donald. It's without Henry, Irv, without Rudolph. Yes. Okay. I wasn't actually sure who Donald Parham won. He's the backup for Henry. No, I go Irv Smith. I would go Irv Smith. We've seen him do better without Rudolph. It's not a great matchup against the Saints, Matt, but yeah, I would go Irv Smith. He's way better than Parham there. Let's see. CC Terrell, 2 nights. I've seen you before, Terrell. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate you. Make sure to sub to the channel. Choose 2. Wilson, David Johnson, Pollard, Dobbins. I go Paul, Dobbins, and David Johnson out of that one. So and mostly because I'm expecting Zeke to play. Dylan, what's going on? 16-team standard league flex spot. Emmanuel Sanders, J.D. McKissic, or Cole Beasley. It's tough because you're going to have to... I'll go Cole Beasley. It's a standard league, but Cole Beasley's probably the play. If you got to go Sanders, you got to play him tonight. If you do decide Emmanuel Sanders, make sure to move him to your wide receiver spot instead of your flex, so it gives you more flexibility for your flex spot. Dylan. J.D. McKissic is better in PPR leagues, but Gibson could play, so that would just basically make J.D. McKissic non-startable. Cole Beasley has been so good. I think you rely on on maybe a banged up Diggs, and Beasley just being a stud could get in the end zone. And then Emmanuel Sanders, I have to start this week, but I don't like to rely on Sanders. I'd rather start Beasley. Merry Christmas to Mackenzie. He's my co-host. He's a beauty. Scotty, producer Scott in the chat. Appreciate both of you. These two guys make this show run. They make this channel run. They make this podcast and YouTube channel so successful. Wouldn't be here without you. And even though I'm on camera, it's only a small price to pay to help these guys out. Thank you, Dylan, for subscribing. Appreciate you, Dylan. Eric, what's everyone having for Christmas dinner? I'm having turkey, Eric. I'm having turkey. I had a nice steak last night. Matt is saying waiver wire, Irv Smith, Parham, Jonnu Smith, Aiken. So, yeah, between Jonnu and Irv Smith, it's very close in my tight end rankings. I might have Irv Smith higher, but he is very touchdown dependent. Irv Smith should see some better targets. But you know what? I might go with Jonnu Smith at Green Bay. It's going to be risky. But I think that's where I would lean instead of Irv Smith. But it's close. It's very close. It's very close, Matt. So, but Parham isn't in consideration for me. Jordan Akins is decent for sure. But I think it might be Jonnu, Matt. It's risky. These tight end, Matt, if you're new to the channel, I miss on tight ends every single week. I'm trying to stream tight ends. I've got Jared Cook today. I've been rolling with some Irv Smith. I've been rolling with some Dalton Schultz. I've been rolling with Jimmy Graham. I've been rolling with everyone, and I seem to miss them all by a week. I play them, I drop them, and then when I drop them, they get a touchdown. That's just how it goes. I haven't hit on tight end all year because I drafted Zach Ertz, and you see what happened to Zach Ertz. So, Parth, how are we feeling about Josh Jacobs against Miami? Should I start Jeff Wilson in his place? No, I would stick with Josh Jacobs. Parth, I would still stick with Jacobs over Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson has a great opportunity, but I'm still going to stick my stud and stick with Josh Jacobs. It's close. It's not a ridiculous question at all. Jeff Wilson is in a good spot with a good opportunity this week. So I have Josh Jacobs a little bit higher in my rankings. If you need a boom game and you think that it's going to be Jeff Wilson, if you have a good feeling about Jeff Wilson, hey man, light him up. Championship week, you got to go with your gut here. I'm here to help you out, give you my process, and give you what I would do. But at the end of the day, for your championship, if you have a feeling, you can make that right feeling and win your championship. So good luck, everyone, and happy holidays. Jacob, pick one. Swift, Gaskin, Jefferson. Ho, 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 ho. I would go with Justin Jefferson, Jacob. Gaskin's in a great spot. Swift is in a great spot. But if you want pure upside, Jefferson tonight's it's in a good place. If you want to go with safety, I think it's Gaskin. They can run the ball like crazy in Miami. Swift has upside if it's a PPR league. He's got, like I've said before, 5 or 6 targets. It's not an easy matchup, but I love Swift. I'm playing him this week. Big Perm, what's good, Big Perm? Thanks for coming by the channel. Make sure to sub. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers today. I'm just going to go to my channel, see what we're at for subscribers real quick. And we are at 988. We need 12 subscribers to reach 1,000. You must have, everyone here has got to have, there's 15 people watching. Everyone's got to have one friend that would subscribe to the channel. Whether it's a girlfriend, a wife, a boyfriend, a kid, a daughter, someone with a Google account, let's subscribe to the channel. We only are 12 away. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Big Perm, Russell Wilson or Drew Brees? That's a tough one, man. I've talked before, and I like Drew Brees against Minnesota. It's kind of a revenge game. The Vikings have gotten the best of the Saints a lot lately in the past couple of years. So I think Drew Brees comes out and has a good game, scores 3 touchdowns, but his arm is weak, man. Watching that first half of the game, first game back, his arm is weak. He's not looking great, but Russell Wilson has a very, very tough matchup against the LA Rams. I'm still gonna go with Russell. But my rankings are different. My rankings say Russell because of the projection, the floor and the ceiling. His floor is 15 points. His ceiling is 30. Where Drew Brees has a higher floor. His floor is 20. But his ceiling might only be about 28. You know what I mean? So it's tough there. Russell has a higher ceiling. Drew Brees is right in the middle. He's not too far behind. So that's kind of my process, Big Perm. I've got Russell higher on the ranks, but if you go with Drew Brees because you have gut feeling against the Minnesota Vikings, kind of like I do, then you go with Drew Brees. Terrell, too nice. I love that name. Panthers, Washington, Texans, Bears. Who do I start for the league winner? I'd go Bears, man. I would go Bears in that matchup. Bears are one of my top-end defenses of the week. They've got a pass rush. They've got a good linebacking core, good corner core. The game script. It's starting a defense is all about game script. If you think Jacksonville is going to have to pass a ton, Gardner Minshew is going to have to pass, maybe throw the ball deep, maybe to DJ Chark. I don't know. It's not about scoring points. It's about getting sacks, interceptions, fumbles. I think Bears have a good chance at doing that. Your other options are good, though. Your other options are decent for sure. Washington has been awesome. Washington's not too far behind against Carolina. Teddy Bridgewater hasn't been good, but he's not also taking risks. So they could get sacks on Carolina, but I think you go against the worst offense in Jacksonville, potentially turnover prone. That's why I would go Bears. So Terrell, too nice. Go with the Bears. Love it. Pick one, Kittle or Goddard. Ed Tay. What up, Ed? Thanks for coming by. Subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 1,000. We're only 12 away from 1,000. Oh, we're 10 away. 10 away from 1,000, guys. 10 away. 10 away. Cheers. Cheers to you for subscribing, everyone. So, Ed Tay. Goddard is kind of the reception leader in Philly. Do I trust Jalen Hertz? I've said before he could score 5 touchdowns. It's a great matchup. If you want to go safety, you go with Goddard. If you want to go pure upside, top 1 tight end on the week, that's where you go with the upside on Kittle on his first day back. And you take the risk. If you need that boom play, you go with Kittle. I think if he's back, he's probably healthy. He's had lots of time to recover. Kittle is the upside play. He might have a safe floor too. Beathard is gonna target him like crazy. Ed Tay, pick one, Tom Brady or Hertz. It's the exact same question, my dude, because you have one guy that has a super safe floor. Tom Brady has a really good matchup. Tom Brady has a good matchup, and we know he's got a 4-touchdown ceiling against Detroit. I don't expect Leonard Fournette, Ed, to run in 2 touchdowns. He could be Mike Evans this week with those 2 1-yard touchdowns, right? Like, we've seen that before. Hertz has a 5-touchdown ceiling, in my opinion. He could run for 2 and throw for 3. You know what I mean? So Hertz is a more volatile player. Would I have the Manscaped balls to start Hertz over Tom Brady this week? Probably not, honestly, even in a good matchup. But if you need a ceiling play, you go Kittle and Hertz. If you need floor plays, what we've seen all season, you go Goddard and Brady. You can mix and match, figure it out. Either way, I think you've got a really good chance at a championship. Good luck at a championship. We are only 8 subscribers away from reaching our 1,000 subscriber goal. Everyone is a beauty. Cheers and happy holidays. Merry Christmas, easy. Good luck. Enjoy. Dylan, standard league, 10-team league. McLaurin, who's doubtful. Sanders, Hollywood Brown, Keenan Allen. Very tough one. I think it's Hollywood Brown, Dylan. I think it's Hollywood Brown. But I think Emmanuel Sanders is going to be safe because I don't think you want to start McLaurin or Keenan. McLaurin's doubtful, and Keenan's been banged up. Didn't practice all week. So between Sanders and Hollywood Brown, if you needed a pure upside play, we've seen Hollywood be that guy. But I think Emmanuel Sanders might be the play, Dylan. Go with Emmanuel. He's also struggling with Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield. Baker has a good matchup. Josh Allen is a beast. Yeah, dude. This is tricky. I don't have Josh Allen ranked too high, but I do have him higher than Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield, he's close to being my start of the week. So is Jarvis Landry. I think Jarvis has a great game. So pure matchup and what he's shown lately, Baker Mayfield might be the play, dude. Dylan. But Josh Allen, I don't blame you. I'm facing Josh Allen in a league. I think he has a chance to have a really good game against New England. I think you start with your stud and go Josh Allen. He still has a decent floor for his rushing attempts. New England defense isn't what it used to be. Gilmore's out. So, yeah, I think I just stick with your guy, Josh Allen, and close your eyes. Man, good luck, Dylan. I hope this works out for you. I know you got a mismatch of players that are hurt and doubtful, guys that got you there, like Keenan Allen, to the playoffs. Best of luck to you. Good luck. Hopefully you enjoy this week in a championship. Hopefully you get that first place prize, but you know it's still worth it to grind all season, Dylan. Thanks for coming in, and happy holidays. Keep me up to date on how those go. I'm gonna remember because you got Emmanuel Sanders. So do I. I'll be messaging you if Emmanuel Sanders goes off big. Let's go. Jacob, Hertz, Allen, Wilson. I talked about this. Hertz, Wilson, Allen. Hertz, Allen, Wilson. Yep, that's it. Big Perm, you're very welcome for the input. Ed Tay, I got you. You got me. Mackenzie, hope all is safe. Ready to win some championships. Mac is in 2 finals. I'm in 1. Scotty, how does it feel to be in a championship? Do you know? Producer Scott is in here. I beat Scotty by 0.08 points in our semifinals, our quarterfinals. I just want to rub salt in the wound a little bit. He could be in the finals too if it wasn't for me. He's got a great team. He's got good keepers. David is asking, T.Y. Hilton, Myles Gaskin for my flex. I would go Myles Gaskin. David, I would go Myles Gaskin. If you're new to the channel, we're only 8 away from 1,000 subs. Help me out, guys. Louis is asking, Gage, Gibson, Beasley, Robbie at the flex. I think it's Beasley. It's between Beasley and Gage, man. Gage has been good with Julio out. He's already ruled out. Atlanta has a kind of a tough matchup if I recall. So I think it might be Beasley. Yeah, they have Kansas City. I think it might be Beasley over Gage, but it's close. Is it a PPR league? Gibson would be a high upside if he's healthy, you know. Gibson is a stud. I'm not super comfortable starting Gibson this week. If he was healthy all year round, he'd be a top 10 running back for us. But coming back off an injury, it's a little bit dicey for me for Gibson. But I'd go Beasley. Jay Cooper, what up, Jay? How you doing, brother? Hopefully everyone's having a good, happy holiday. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We're only 8 away. Everyone here, we have 14 watching. Everyone here can have a part in celebrating with me. Oh, we're at 993. Only 7 away, guys. Only 7 away. Everyone could be a part getting us 1,000 subs. We could do the weekend streams with 1,000 subs. Be big. Brady, Watson, or Hertz? Oh, man, this is tough because you got 3 top 12 quarterbacks here, my dude. Jay Cooper, you got 3 top 12 quarterbacks. In my rankings, we did a video on my quarterback rankings, and it does depend on what you need. Because I think Brady has a super safe floor, and I think Watson has a safe floor as well. So my top ranked guy is Washington versus Cincinnati. Next is Jalen Hurts. Next is Tom Brady. So but it depends on what you're needing. Tom Brady's super safe. He's been good all season. He's got a good matchup against Detroit. Phenomenal matchup. Watson doesn't have his number one target like Brady does. He doesn't have Will Fuller. But he's a baller. And so is Hertz. Hertz has a pretty safe floor because of his rushing ability. But I think Hertz has the biggest upside. So I mentioned the rankings, Watson, Hertz, Brady. But honestly, Cooper, I don't know if you can go wrong, my dude. I'm not sure if you can go wrong. Buy or sell Alvin Kamara for 25, Mackenzie. Buy or sell AK for 25. I'm going to buy that. He's going over 25. Love that. I hope he throws a touchdown to to Jared Cook. That's what I'm really hoping for. Bad Wubby. What up, Bad? Thanks for coming by. Subscribe to the channel. I haven't seen your name before. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs. You could be the 995th subscriber if you subscribe right now. We're only 5-6 away. We're at 994. Bad Wubby. Arizona, San Francisco, Detroit versus Tampa, or Detroit was Detroit, Washington versus Carolina. Easy for me to say. Holy moly, guys. We did so what he's saying, I was planning on Arizona, but with Kittle starting, I'm second guessing that decision. Yeah, I don't love Arizona between your other options. I think I like Tampa Bay the best. And then Washington versus Carolina is a good spot too. So what you really want to watch for with streaming and starting defenses, I mean, you want the game script to be that the quarterback is throwing the football. Because what happens when a quarterback throws the football, even if he has a lot of yards, which doesn't matter, you get interceptions, sacks, fumbles, sack fumbles, even better. So you're looking really between O-line and D-line. The D-line needs to be better and produce pressure. We know Tampa Bay's linebackers are the best, and their pressure rate is okay. Washington has the best front four in the league. They get tons of pressure. Carolina has a pretty good O-line, though. So the O-line matchup isn't that bad. So I do think Washington has a really good spot there. Doesn't matter how much they score. So again, here we go. Doesn't matter how much San Francisco really scores that match, Brad. If you still were planning on Arizona, don't worry about Kittle. If they score touchdowns, it's no big deal. If he scores 2 touchdowns and goes for 100 yards, that's not going to make the difference, make or break your defense because Kittle's back. Because if Arizona can generate pressure, maybe Tyrann Mathieu has a pick 6. It's all kinds of things could happen. Beathard could throw multiple interceptions and fumble the ball, and Jeff Wilson could be stopped at the goal line. All kinds of things can happen. You got to go with game script. If you were rolling with Arizona, if you think they have the best defense, generate the most pressure, Beathard's going to turn the ball over, that's what you go with. Because your other options here, Detroit has Stafford starting. Washington has Teddy Bridgewater starting. Though both those teams have good pressure rates, but you're going against the backup D or backup offense, then go with Arizona D. So hopefully that helped, Bad. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you're the 995th subscriber and you enjoyed my stuff. Oh, we dropped a subscriber. How does that happen? Terrell, too nice. Could someone... Sorry, my thing flipped on me. Tweet Kamara, Merry Christmas, requesting for a friend. I think Matt can help you out for that. Absolutely. Souza01, Le'Veon, David Johnson, Myles Gaskin. Pick 2. I would go David Johnson and Myles Gaskin. I do like Lev this week. He's the only back there. I think David Johnson and Myles Gaskin are in a good spot. Pounds of salt for Scotty. Sorry, buddy. Hollywood Brown or DK Metcalf, full PPR. In that scenario, bad Wubby, I would go with DK Metcalf. We've talked about him a lot. High risk, high reward player. He didn't have a great game against the LA Rams last time, but I think that the Russell knows he needs to target DK and get those points. 2 wideouts and a flex, full PPR. Drowsy loves comp. He's talking Godwin, Marvin Jones Jr., T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, Kittle, T.Y. Hilton, Mike Williams, Jonnu Smith, and Rashad Higgins. Damn. 2 wideouts and a flex. Keenan Allen is, I think, a sit for me, which sucks because he's your stud there. I think I go with Godwin and Marvin Jones Jr., and I will flex. It's between Hilton and Rashad Higgins. I'd probably go Hilton, even in a tough matchup. Tricky. I think Rashad's in for a good spot, but he's not the number one in that offense. You're really hoping Baker has a big game. Kittle is a desperation play if you're behind, my dude. So you could flex Kittle if you need to. If you're not content with Hilton or Higgins, you could flex Kittle and just pray for a big game against Arizona. Pray for that big game. Sweet baby Jesus. Louis, Gage, Beasley, Gibson, Robbie Anderson at full flex. I said I would say Beasley in a full PPR. Beasley. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone. Big Ben, number 7. Let's go. Pick 1. Brandon Cooks, Keenan Allen, Tyron Johnson. Brandon Cooks, I think over Tyron Johnson's in a good spot, Ed, but because Keenan Allen's likely going to be out for that game. He didn't practice all week. I don't expect him to play. I think Brandon Cooks in a decent matchup against Cincinnati. Joey. What's up, Joey Raspardo? Wilson, Gio, Bell, Pollard, or Zeke. Full PPR. Man, to sit Zeke seems a little bit crazy, right? Gio has a pretty good matchup. We know that. Against Houston. It's a really good matchup, especially what he did against Pittsburgh. Hopefully, my boy Jonathan Taylor can do that against Pittsburgh. I'm still refreshing the subs, guys. I'm still refreshing those subs. Before I answer, I'm going to have a sip of beer. Le'Veon Bell's in a pretty good spot, Joey. I'm going to check my rankings right now. See what I would do with those running backs. Let's see. We would go with Wilson, Gio, Bell, Pollard, Zeke. Man, oh man, the whole Pollard Zeke thing is just so confusing because Pollard had a great game. It's been a while since Zeke has had a big game. So I'm going to go Le'Veon Bell out of that option over Jeff Wilson. It's close. It's very close. And Gio's in a good spot. So I'd go Le'Veon Bell over everyone. But good luck, Gio. Or Joey. That's a tough choice to sit down Zeke if he's active. But Pollard still will be involved. That's the thing. And Gio, I don't see him being a safe. So go Bell, Gio, Wilson, Bell, Wilson, Gio in that order, Joey. So good luck. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for coming by. Happy holidays to everyone here. Sucks that Julio McLaurin hurt championship week. I feel that. Dylan, dude, I have another tight end spot. It's a rough spot for me. All I have is Ebron and Gesicki, both banged up. MG was on a hot streak. I know Mike Gesicki was on a hot streak. Man, I know. It sucks. It really does suck. I feel that. I don't know if he plays. I think he limited practice all week. If Gesicki plays, he's in. I think Ebron should play, but I don't want to trust Ebron, man. Yeah, tough spot there, Dylan. Really tough. Merry Christmas, Noah. Thank you for coming by. Bad, thank you for subscribing. You're welcome for all the advice. Garrett, what's going on, Garrett? Thanks for coming by. Marky's in the chat. Mark, thanks for coming by, Marky. Merry Christmas. Garrett, DeAndre Swift, David Johnson, Cole Beasley, PPR leading towards Beasley. I don't blame you there, Garrett. Beasley in a PPR league is great, but David Johnson and DeAndre Swift do have a super safe floor as well. DeAndre Swift catches or has at least 5 to 6 targets every single game. Usually has 5 or 6 catches every single game. And David Johnson's basically a wide receiver with Duke Johnson out too, because they're hurt at wide receiver. I might go with Chad Hansen this week. I don't know. PPR, Cole Beasley's been if you're leaning towards Cole Beasley, I don't blame you one bit. DeAndre Swift has a tough matchup. David Johnson, it's David Johnson. He's been okay. So yeah, I'd probably, like, rankings-wise, I'd probably have David Johnson, Beasley, Swift. But in a full PPR, it's close. But yeah, go Beasley. Go with your gut, my dude. It's championship week. You got to go with what's working. What time is it? It's 3:45. I'll be ending at 4 o'clock, guys, so get your questions in. Sousa, Allen Robinson or Keenan Allen, they both questionable. I would go Allen Robinson. And Merry Christmas. Thank you for subscribing. We are how many away? Sousa, were you number 995? Oh, we're at 996. 4 away, guys. 4 away. The Chosen Rose is in the chat. What's up, Chosen Rose? Man, you guys are awesome. 4 subscribers away from hitting 1,000. We have 19 people watching now. Let's get over 1,000 this stream. We can do it. I'm going to have another sip of beer. All right. Chosen Rose. James Robinson or Jeff Wilson. Or could you go Salvin Ahmed or James Conner? I would go Jeff Wilson, Chosen Rose. Out of those guys. James Robinson wants to play. I know he wants to play. He wants to show what he can do. I would go Jeff Wilson over those guys. I think Gaskin plays, so that's why Salvin Ahmed is not an option. And James Conner has been trash and might not play either. So Jeff Wilson is the one to go with. And he also wants me to choose his tight end for him too. He's got Tyler Higbee, Cole Kmet, or Jonnu Smith. Tight end, my dude, is all about touchdown dependency. If one of those guys gets in the touchdown, or in the end zone, they will finish as the better option. Who I think has the best chance at doing that? Jonnu Smith versus Green Bay. I've got him ranked the highest. Against Green Bay, it should be fine. It should be a bit of a shootout there. We are rocking and rolling. Thank you, Sousa. Appreciate you. Yeah, Higbee's been fine. He hasn't gotten the targets. Cole Kmet let you down last week. I think Jonnu Smith, Chosen Rose, is the one to go with. Marky, what is up? He's watching while drinking and having a bonfire. Living in the year 3000. 4 more subs. We're almost there. Mark Poole, any appeal to flex Singletary this weekend? Other options, Rashad Higgins and Allen Lazard. Marky in the championship matchup in our league of record. I would go with Rashad Higgins in a half-point league. Allen Lazard is tempting, but because it's an outdoor game, Lazard's been just so up and down. It's hard to say. There's temptation for Singletary. The New England Patriots haven't been a great defense in general. They're missing Gilmore. It could be that kind of game. They still like to bring in Zach Moss in some weird spots, and especially in the goal line. Singletary scored from, I want to say 35 last week, so I don't expect that to happen again. So I would go Higgins. Hopefully that works out for you, Marky. I hope you win a championship in League of Record. The trophy would look great on your bedside table. I'll put a camera in there. Just kidding. Pick 3 between Kamara, Cook, Henry, Montgomery. Oh, man, Roger, that is the best lineup of running backs I've ever seen, Roger. Holy. Let me know, Roger, if that's a half PPR, full PPR. I think it's Kamara, Henry, Montgomery, and you sit down Cook. I think that is what you do. That is a tough one, dude. That's a tough one. 3 more subs away. We can reach 1,000 on this live stream. 2 away. Let's go. 24 people liking this video. 20 people watching. We're almost at 1,000. We're going to reach it on this live stream. You guys are awesome. You're the best. Appreciate all of you. Sousa, playing the semifinal. Emmanuel Sanders available. Should I drop Keenan Allen? Are you doing a week 17 championship? Because this is the finals for most people. Okay, Roger in a full PPR. So full PPR, yeah, I still lean with Kamara, Henry, and Montgomery. It's hard to sit down Cook. It's tough defense. It should really be Kamara, Cook, and Henry and sitting down Montgomery. So if you want to go with your studs, man, go with Kamara, Cook, and Henry. Close though, holy man. That's the best 3-4 running backs in the league right now. Emmanuel Sanders available. Should I drop Keenan? Yeah, I mean, if you have another week, Keenan Allen could help you next week. That's why you would keep Keenan. If you're in a spot, I don't remember what you have, Sousa. Sorry, I've been answering too many questions. And Chosen Rose. Johnny Smith is questionable. I'm expecting Johnny Smith to play. If it's a last minute out, that would be a really tough one. I'm not. I'll take a look on Jonnu Smith, but I don't think his injuries really there. We're at 999. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We're about to hit 1K any minute now. You playing Emmanuel Sanders tonight we're at 1K. We're at 1K. We're at 1K. 1,000. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Thank you for coming here on a Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone. We've been grinding all year round for you, for us, for helping us out. I am flustered. We're at 1,000 subscribers. Didn't think this would happen. Very happy right now. Thank you to my co-host Mackenzie, Scotty, producer Scott. You'll see his great face this summer on the show. Good luck to everyone on the podcast and here right now for being here. You've witnessed all this hard work coming to fruition. Thank you, everyone, for this Christmas gift. This is very important to me and my friends for working very, very hard. And good luck to everyone in the championship matchup. Oh, Tara, all too nice. Crowder, Wilson, Dobbins, PPR. I would go Dobbins, my dude. Chosen Rose. I still think Johnny is good. Full PPR. Roger. Yep. Manny T. What up, Manny? Should I pick up Mooney if A-Rob doesn't play? I think A-Rob is going to play. I'm expecting Robinson to play. I would play A-Rob. If you don't have A-Rob and just think it's going to be Mooney. No, I wouldn't pick up Mooney. I'm not picking up Mooney. Thank you guys. Thank you for everyone for being here. Let's see. Filming around me. Baker, Allen, Herbert. I would go Herbert out of those guys. So thanks for coming by. Baker is in a really good spot. I love Baker this week. I think he's got a really good ceiling floor. All those guys are good. Josh Allen's in a good spot. If you wanted to stick with your stud, Josh Allen, I don't blame you one bit. But my rankings say Herbert, and then Allen, and then Baker. But all those options are really great. Eric, Hertz, or Watson. I've got Watson over Hertz, but it's close. I talked about these quarterbacks earlier in the stream. Watson has a good ceiling, and so does Hertz. I would go with the tried and true stud quarterback Watson. Hertz is great. Hertz could have 2 rushing touchdowns and 3 passing touchdowns. That's the kind of ceiling this guy has. He could have 100 yards on the ground. I still think Watson is the play because he's got a lower floor than what Hertz has. That's what I would do. And they don't really have a running back. David Johnson is kind of a wide receiver for them. So it's going to be passing a lot. The game script is good for Deshaun Watson, I think. Let's see. Filming, he has Landry as a wide receiver. The stack is nice with Baker for sure. I don't think that really matters. I'm starting Landry this week, filming around me, but it doesn't matter to me that much about starting Baker and Landry. But if you have a good feeling about Baker and you just want to roll him out, I think he's in a great spot. He could finish as a top 6 quarterback this week. But I would start the other guys ahead of him. But hey, man, championship week is all about starting your studs. It's about going with your gut. Well, not about starting your studs. It's about going with your gut. Anything could happen. You could pick up a guy off waivers and go off for 2 touchdowns and he wins you your matchup. I'll help you go through my process, what I'm going to do, what I would do. But But if you have a really good feeling about Baker Mayfield, you go with Baker Mayfield. So that's what's up. This is awesome, guys. Thank you again for 1,000 subscribers. We appreciate you so much. We've been grinding all year round. These streams have been awesome, interacting with all of you. This is why we do it, helping you win championship matchups. Hopefully my advice is sound. I can give you my process. I can give you what I do, why I would do it. Hopefully the advice works out for you. Anything can happen. You've made it to the championship. That's all the battle. Just congrats on making it to the finals. So, shout out to Marky for laying the groundwork, helping us. He was our third co-host. Mac and I started this thing. Mac and I drove down to New York and talked football the entire time. We argued Jimmy Graham with the Packers, and we talked every day about fantasy football. Mackenzie and I were like very close friends, and all we talked about was fantasy. We became obsessed with it. This is why we do it. And we're like, listen, our insights, our knowledge is great. People should listen. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. For a lot of years, we were yelling into the void. We're yelling, and no one was hearing us. We thought we had great takes and good analysis, but no one was listening to us except for a few friends and family on podcasts. But now we've come such a long way. We have 1,000 subscribers. We have 27 people watching on Christmas Day, liking our video, liking our content, subscribing to our show, hopefully winning championships. And it's amazing how far we've come, guys. So shout out to Mackenzie. He's the true OG. My beard is gone. Drewby, we're at 1,000 subs. That's my girlfriend right there in the chat. Thank you, Drew, for coming in. Billa is asking, full PPR, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Oh, man, I'm starting your lineup. Start Eckler. He's got Gaskin, Jeff Wilson, Henderson, Claypool. So your 2 running backs are Eckler, and between Gaskin and Gaskin and Henderson, that's a close one. I think both are in a good spot. Gaskin coming off an injury, if that worries you at all, just go with Henderson. They're very close. I have Henderson a little bit higher in my rankings. Go with Henderson and Eckler. He's got Claypool, Keenan Allen, Jefferson, Woods, Emmanuel Sanders. So I would go with Jefferson and Woods. And then for tight end, you just roll with Kittle or Tanyan. Interesting. If you go, Tanyan's been great. He's got a good matchup. I think Kittle is the upside play. So it's kind of a coin flip for these both 2 high-end tight ends. I think Tanyan is higher in my rankings. If you ask Mackenzie, he would say Tanyan. I think I would roll with Kittle, though. I would go Kyler Murray at quarterback. And for your flex, I would go with Jeff Wilson. Jeremy, DK or Deontay, full PPR. Jeremy, I would go with DK is higher in my rankings, but if you're worried about the matchup against Ramsey, go with Deontay Johnson. It's not a bad option at all. Anthony, need to set my flex Swift or Jeff Wilson Jr. I've got Swift higher in my rankings, but the matchup is tougher. So if you're scared about the matchup, go with Wilson. Both are decent options. Eric, Rashad Higgins, or Aguilar half PPR. I would go Higgins over Aguilar. I don't have a beard. You're right. I'm Santa. Standard league flex: Keenan Allen, Drake, Mike Davis, Amari Cooper, or Darrell Henderson. Rams. I'm not going to play Keenan Allen for my flex spot in a standard league. I think I go with Henderson. Don, I think I go with Henderson. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're at 1,000, but we got to get over. You're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that sub button, and we are doing content tomorrow and on Sunday. We are doing content and streaming all weekend long for the holiday season. This is awesome. Joe is asking, any undrafted RBs or wide receivers this week? Don't want to start Locker. I'm not sure about Mike Evans. Or underrated running backs or wide receivers. Sorry, I said undrafted. Underrated wide receivers or running backs. Underrated, I would go with Mike Evans. Honestly, dude, I think Mike Evans is in a pretty good spot. He could have had a couple touchdowns this past week. I would go with Mike Evans against Detroit Lions. As for adding running backs off the waivers, Le'Veon Bell was an ad. Darrell Henderson was an ad that are good. If Gaskin is available on your waiver wire, if he was dropped because of his injury, Gaskin is a good start. Other wide receivers, Emmanuel Sanders is okay, but I wouldn't start him over Mike Evans. Rashad Higgins is a guy I like, but I wouldn't start him over Mike Evans. So, yeah, there's a few, but I think Mike Evans is a start this week. Many. Should I start Colts, Miami, or Houston? I would go with Miami. Manny T. Yeehaw. No Golden Tate thoughts on Sterling Shepard. I think Sterling Shepard is a decent PPR guy. The quarterback play in Detroit or New York is all over the map. So I'm not sure. I'm not really thrilled about starting Shepard, but he's a talented wide receiver. Sovice Sok. Evan Ingram or Austin Hooper. I would go Austin Hooper over Evan Ingram this week. Thank you for coming by. I haven't seen your name before. Hopefully you give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. We're doing streams tomorrow and Sunday, so if any news happens, weather stuff happens, we will be doing live streams. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully you like our content, and we're still growing our community. We're at 1,000 subscribers today. Thanks to all of y'all. Love you guys. Jack is an OG. He's been here for a long time. Jack, thanks for coming by, Jack Wagner. Saints or Dolphins D? I'd probably go. I'd probably go Dolphins. Dolphins D has been good. Saints against the Vikings are okay. They're probably going to score. They might turn the ball over. Maybe go New Orleans. It's a very close though. You're hoping that that Cousins turns the ball over. Kellis Talks is asking about start 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, Emmanuel Sanders, Allen Robinson, Woods, Morse, Miles Sanders, Pollard if Zeke is out, Dobbins, Logan Thomas, Henderson. You got a really good matchup here, a really good lineup. Allen Robinson and Robert Woods is who I would go with at wide receiver. My flex play would be probably Miles Sanders. Yeah, that's what I would go with. Even if Zeke is out, I'm not going to play. Dobbins is in a good spot as well, in a good matchup, but I think it's going to be Miles Sanders for me. The Villa Kings music. I need help. Thielen or Ayuk? Oh, man, this is why you're here. This is why we're doing a live stream on a Friday on Christmas Day, because we have a game tonight. I have Thielen ahead of Ayuk, but it's close because we have a question mark at the quarterback position in San Francisco. We have Beathard playing quarterback for San Fran. Now they should kind of design the offense around Ayuk. He's been really good lately. Thielen scored that touchdown. He's a really good red zone guy for the Vikings, but he didn't get the yards last week. And Ayuk did. So I understand why you'd want to go with Ayuk for the upside. I think Thielen still has a safe floor. I think he will get more targets, more yards. The Vikings seem to have the Saints number. I think this could be a fun game to watch. Hopefully it is. Danny Diaz, Emmanuel Sanders, Keenan Allen, or Mark Andrews. Oh, man. Jeez, I don't think Keenan Allen plays. I'm not going to play Keenan. So I've been kind of going away from Keenan on every question, guys. I'm going away from Keenan on pretty much every question. So between Sanders and Mark Andrews, I mean, who gets more targets? Oh, man. I think I kind of lean Sanders. I'm going to look at my projections here. Between Sanders and Andrews, I usually would not want to play a tight end over a wide receiver, period. But he is the number 1 pass catcher. Man, I guess go Andrews and hope he gets in the touchdown. So Sanders in a decent game script is going to be all right. But yeah. Also, if you have questions, Mackenzie's in the chat. He's my co-host. He'd be doing this with me today, but he's spending time with his family. But he's still in the chat like an absolute beauty, helping us out. I'm going to be ending the stream very soon, guys. I got to spend time with my family as well. And the game starts very, very soon. So I'm going to go double time on this. So thanks for the question, Danny Diaz. Max Olson, he said he would go Ayuk. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. Eric K, LAR, or Tampa D. I would go Tampa. It's close, though. Bills Mafia, Emmanuel Sanders, and Marvin Jones. I would go Marvin Jones. Jeremy is asking, thinking about playing Hertz over Allen. Yep, I've talked about these guys quite a bit, Jeremy. Hertz has a huge upside. I have him ranked higher than Allen this week. But if you don't want to sit your stud, Josh Allen, I don't blame you. Even with Kittle back, demanding targets. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Villa, I gave you I told you to go with Thielen. So you got to figure out who you want to go with. I didn't really consider Thielen, honestly. Max Olson, would you trust Steelers defense still? Other options would be Chargers. I actually just picked up the Chargers. I didn't have Steelers as a good option. I think Indy runs the ball a lot. But at the same time, Phillip Rivers turns the ball over. It'd be hard. It'd be very, very hard sitting down the Steelers defense. I'm rolling Chargers. So good luck, Max. It's a tough one. I would still stick with Steelers, but Chargers are sneaky play. Louis is asking about, with Boyd out, what does that mean for anything Gio? I think Gio's in a fine spot. I think Gio looked great last game against Pittsburgh, so I think Gio is going to be fine. Tannehill or Mayfield? That's close. I would actually, I believe I have Tannehill ranked slightly higher than Mayfield. Oh no, I have Mayfield one spot ahead, so I'd go Mayfield over Tannehill. Tough. Mayfield's been awesome lately. Great one. Jeremy, Saints D or Bears? I would go Bears. Mackenzie would go Miami D. Is that what I said? I hope I said Miami. Did I even ask that? I don't know. Roger. Hey, just one more, Browns or Cardinals? I think Browns are in a good spot. I'd go Browns. Prayers up for this week. Yep. Brad Blankenship. Are you related to my kicker in my lineup? Need a flex. PPR league. Antonio Brown, Devontae Parker, J.D. McKissick, QT, or Sterling Shepard. I'd probably go Antonio Brown, Brad. Muller out. I'd go with Thielen then. Yeah, go Thielen. Yeah. Jeff Mullis. Jay Taylor, Dobbins, Carson. PPR need 2. I'd go Taylor and Carson. But my co-host Mac would probably go Taylor and Dobbins. So it's close. It's very close. You have 3 good options. But go Dobbins and Taylor. Go Dobbins and Taylor. Jeff, both all in good spots. Okay, kill us Thielen it is. Good luck. Sit Carson out of those 2. Yep, exactly what Max said. Dobbins or David Johnson. I'll go Dobbins. Brad Blankenship, thank you. You're welcome. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everyone. I'm going to be done this stream. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're fading the Steelers D. Max is in the chat. Special thank you to my co-host Mackenzie. He's an absolute beauty. He does all this beautiful artwork that you see on our channel. He's been grinding the Instagram page. He has a full-time job, stressful full-time job, and we are still here grinding every single week. James is asking, I'll answer these last 2. Dave Johnson or Lav, I would go David Johnson. And Joe is asking, should I start Fournette this week? Also have Sanders and Aaron Jones. No, I would start Sanders and Jones. One more, Tampa, Chargers, or AZ. I would go Tampa, Danny, but it's tough. It's close. Kittle or Logan Thomas, standard scoring. Dan Cha, I would, upside is in Kittle. The targets are with Logan Thomas. I'm not sure who's at quarterback for the Washington football team this week, but it's going to be really close. 23 people to watching. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Thank you, everyone, for getting to 1,000 subs. I love all of you. And we got there. I can't believe it, but we got there. Merry Christmas, everyone. We are live tomorrow. We are live back here tomorrow. So if you have new questions, same questions, doesn't matter, new information, come by again tomorrow. I think it's going to be 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hit the sub button. We got to 1,000. We'll pop some champagne tomorrow with my co-host, Scotty. Producer Scott's going to be on the stream. My co-host, Mac, will have some great discussions, have some holiday cheer. We are ready to rock. He meant Fournette. No, I would still start Sanders over Fournette. Thank you, John, for coming by. Thank you, everyone, for coming by. You guys are great. I'm going to end the stream very shortly. And happy holidays. Good luck, everyone, in their championship matchup. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.